Hi everybody, I'm at the Teens in AI bootcamp here in London. I'm with Josie, one of our speakers and mentors. Do you just want to introduce yourself and talk about your background?
Sure. Yeah. Hi, my name is Josie. I work as a transformation manager with a company that does digital transformation with governments. I'm a big government nerd, and I've also done research looking into feminist artificial intelligence and chatbots.
Okay, so what does feminist artificial intelligence, can you give me the definition?
What is that? Totally. So, well, in terms of definition, I guess it's about how do we consciously build artificial intelligence that doesn't deteriorate or make inequality worse, but actually focuses on how do we use this technology to make the world a better place, and in particular looking at gender power dynamics between men and women.
Important. So what led you to this place in your life, like the feminist and AI, and what brought you to this movement?
Well, to be honest, a couple of years ago, I never really sort of had thought about artificial intelligence at all, but I did my master's at Goldsmiths University looking at innovation, and artificial intelligence was a massive part of the course. And just kind of, I guess, through that process, I realized, as someone who's been a long time kind of women's rights campaigner, or, at least kind of volunteer in the movement, always been interested in how we use the tools at our disposal to make the world a better place. And I remember sitting in a lecture, and the lecturer was going on about super artificial intelligence, and I just sat there and I thought, oh my God, this is going to be the technology that sort of de facto runs the world in a number of ways. And so if we don't get the values right in that, it's kind of scary to think that, we might be embodying, the kind of our social values of 2016, 2018 in these things that then live forever. What kind of change is that going to have, or how that impact culture going forward? So just trying to think about how do you then, in a sort of a predominantly computer science, data science space, have these kinds of conversations that as a social scientist I've had before, but never really in a tech space. So I guess it was more just kind of burning curiosity and lots of opinions about what it should be, which sort of led me here, which has been a very nice and interesting and non-linear journey.
Nice. So what do you think are methods that can be used to make sure these AI machines are good?
Yeah, not awful. So I know there's a whole lot of work that's going on at the moment in the sector around debiasing data, identifying bias in data to the large data sets that AI relies on. And, kind of on the technical side, that work is happening. And then that's not really where I kind of play in that space, because I don't have technical skills like that. So from a social science perspective, I think it's more about within our processes for building technology, how do we kind of bring teams together that have a combination of your computer scientist, your data scientist, and your ethnographer, your philosopher, the policy person, the user researcher who really understand the kind of group of people that you're wanting to engage with your technology. How do we bring them together as a team so that they can learn from each other, and you can take, the greatest, kind of knowledge that the computer scientists, the data scientists have, and pair that with the knowledge of the social scientists to come up with something that's incredibly powerful and has also had the opportunity to kind of, be evaluated in terms of its impact once it is out in the world. So I think that's a really good place to start, is kind of multidisciplinary teams. And then I think it's an explicit process that says, these are the values of the company. This is the purpose of the technology. How do we kind of make sure that the thing that we build can be held up to that standard and we can be proud of it? And talking about our own values in relation to that stuff. So it's really kind of making things explicit. And then kind of trusting the judgment of the clever people in the room to make the right design choices and technology choices going forward.
Nice, makes sense. So important.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in 3 sentences, can you say why it's important for teams to learn about AI and learn about what you're working on too?
I think it's super important because AI is the future. AI is going to control so much of the world, and I think that teams, as they are now, have a lot of important things that they want to say, and they have a lot of important perspectives that also need to be embedded in this technology. It's not just technology for, non-teenagers. So I think, and then thirdly, I would say the earlier you get involved, I think the less intimidating it is. As someone who's not technical, I've been pleasantly surprised that I've been able to engage in these kinds of conversations without, necessarily having to know how to code, for example.
Anything else you want to add? Or?
No, it's just such a pleasure to be here. This is an amazing event, and all the teams are just so engaged and so clever, and it's fantastic.
Thanks.